Good morning, children. This lesson is of Class 6 for the subject of chemistry topic Separation of Mixtures. Chapter number 5 of your textbook Concise Chemistry, Selena Publications. It is being submitted to you on 21st December 2020. In the last lesson, we have discussed some separation techniques, that is, handpicking, sieving, magnetic separation, sublimation, and solvent extraction method. Today, we are going to discuss some more separation techniques. A mixture of solid in liquid can be homogeneous like a sugar solution or heterogeneous like a mixture of sand and water. Children, different methods are used depending upon the type of mixture. So first method that we are going to discuss here is sedimentation and decantation. This method is used for a heterogeneous mixture of solid and liquid, where the solid is insoluble and heavier than the liquid component. The heavier solid particles settle down at the bottom of the container due to gravity. So, the settling down of the insoluble heavy solid particles in a solid liquid mixture at the bottom of the container is called sedimentation. Let's repeat. The settling down of the insoluble heavy solid particles in a solid liquid mixture at the bottom of the container is called sedimentation. In this technique, the mixture is allowed to stand undisturbed till the heavy solid particles settle down. Then the clear liquid at top is transferred into another container without disturbing the solid sediment. The solid, which settles at the bottom, is called sediment, while the clear liquid above it is called supernatant liquid. Again, the solid, which settles at the bottom, is called sediment, and the clear liquid above it is called supernatant liquid. The process of pouring the clear supernatant liquid without disturbing the sediment is called decantation. The glass rod helps in decanting the water slowly and easily. To separate sand from water, the process of sedimentation followed by decantation can be used. Next process is loading. During sedimentation, the heavier coarse particles settle down quickly, but the finer particles settle down very slowly. So, the finer particles are made to settle down faster by adding a certain chemical. This process is called loading. Finer particles of clay in muddy water can be made to settle down faster by adding alum to it. Alum dissolves in water and makes the clay particles heavier and increases the rate of sedimentation. Now, the next way of separating technique is filtration. The process of separating the fine, insoluble solid particles from a solid liquid mixture to a filter is called filtration. In the filtration process, the mixture is allowed to pass through a filter with pores that allow the liquid to pass through but not the solid particles. The solid left on the filter is called residue, and the clear liquid which passes through the filter is called filtrate. Mixtures like chalk and water, clay and water, tea and tea leaves, sawdust and water are separated by the method of filtration. Now, the next technique of separation is evaporation. This method is used to separate the components of a homogeneous solid liquid mixture like salt in water. Evaporation is the process of converting a liquid into its vapor state either by exposing it to air or by heating. Salt from seawater is separated by the method of evaporation. In this, seawater is collected in shallow beds and allowed to evaporate in the sun. When all the water is evaporated, the salt is left behind. Therefore, evaporation is the process of converting a liquid into its vapor state either by exposing it to air or by heating. And this method is used to separate the components of a homogeneous solid liquid mixture. Now, children, the next technique of separation is crystallization. Crystallization is the process of separating a pure solid in the form of its crystals from its solution. And what is the principle? The pure crystals of a solid separate out on cooling its hot saturated solution. In the process of crystallization, the solution is heated and more solid is added to the solution till it becomes saturated. Then it is cooled to obtain the pure crystals of the solid. After that, the crystals are separated by filtration and dried. For example, common salt obtained from seawater has many impurities in it. It is purified by the process of crystallization. Impure samples of copper sulfate and alum are also purified by this process. Do you know, children? Crystallization is a better technique than evaporation. It is because some solids like sugar decompose or get charred on heating to dryness during evaporation, and the soluble impurities do not get removed in the process of evaporation. Hence, crystallization is a better technique than evaporation. Now, what are crystals? Crystals are the solid particles with definite shape and size, and they are shiny. Like sugar crystals are cubical and shiny. Can you tell children, why does boiled water become tasteless? Drinking water contains air dissolved in it. When it is boiled, air escapes, and so the boiled water becomes tasteless. With this topic, we have completed the chapter. Kindly give thorough reading of the content of the chapter so that you can understand it well. Thank you, children.